Hello internet, how are you? Subscribe, share, like, comment, bell, blah 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 blah. We're gonna focus a bit on the main attraction of my art book project, the art, of course. I'll give you a few time-lapse, but don't expect like 36 of them. There will be 3 to be precise. These are made from Thomas Bourdon, the artist who made all my art since the second book. So I wanted to speak a bit about the art that will show in the time-lapse, so I will explain a bit about them, like what it is, where it is, what's the meaning of what I'm showing, and etc, etc. So I will talk about them, and then I will let you enjoy the end of the time-lapse. So here we go. So this particular piece is the Tree Thajil, a giant tree in the heart of the Mjaltu forest, protected by its guardian, the fairy. This is a particularly important place in my universe and a particular place in of itself. For a starter, the Mjaltu forest is a very special place where this is where all of the monster and the horror and the savage life all around thrive. It's like their best vacation destination. Hey, we need to go there. The Mjaltu forest is more or less in the center of the West continent. Well, center north, more exactly. It's bordering the Eternal Domain, the Kingdom of the Elf, and the Mountain of the Chain of Penance. This is also a portion of the Melfolk territory. Indeed, they live in a swampy part of the forest, in the south of the forest, as a result of the Great Ilgar War, where the elves, at the end of the conflict, offer a piece of their territory to the Melfolk they were slaughtered, like they were almost wiped out. And the Melfolk and the elf have been very, very close allies ever since. And it's in the very heart of the Mjaltu forest, as dangerous and fascinating as it is, because it's more or less the most dangerous place in all my universe, more or less. There is also a nice thing. It's not like everything is gloomy and dark and bad and you want to kill you. No, there is also beautiful thing, like wonderful and magnificent thing. But it's mainly full of creatures of all sorts that reside in the Mjaltu forest. And so very few people know about the existence of the Thajil tree, because in reality, almost no one could ever go deep enough in the forest to see it in the first place. Even if it's like a giant tree that is like a mile high and things like that. No, you have to go very deep in the forest to see it, and well, almost no one returned to tell the tale. So yeah, even a glimpse of the Thajil tree is like impossible. It's almost impossible as a regular living being to see the tree itself. So one of the only living being who knows about the tree and know what it is, where it is, what's the purpose and the meaning of it, is the millennia-old spider Torwa, but it's another story entirely. In this secular part of the forest, the Thajil tree, only the fairy and the great deer lives. The great deer can live elsewhere. In fact, they live almost like everywhere, but in this particular part of the world, the Thajil tree region, the fairy and the great deer have a very special bond. They are very connected. There is a strange connection between them in this very secluded place in the world. This is very peculiar, and some of them, the great deer, are marked by the fairy, and Torwa, the great spider, pretend that this is not an enviable fate. So it is. There is some of the information I can give you about this drawing and what it's depicting. I give a bit of lore about my universe, and unfortunately I have to go on the chill side and say that if you want to know more, like in the Starship Troopers meme, well, I invite you to read my book. If you can read French, I know. But you can also support my Kickstarter. We'll start in the 15th of December. And yes, the Kickstarter of the art book and the art book itself then will be in English. Yes. So click notify to be alerted and to not miss any information about the funding. And now I will leave you to the end of the time lapse of Thomas. Take care, internet. Mwah.